The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, welcome to the weekly Noyantis Usergroup meeting. Today is Monday the 16th of November. Myself, I think John is here. I think I might have just started it without actually saying hello to him. Are your hosts. As always, I did. Sorry, John. Yeah, I just jumped straight into it, pressed the go, and it was like, I've not said hello to John yet, so apologies for that.
That's right. That's right.
So yes, I think I was running late. No change there. So yes, as always, if anyone's got any queries or questions, please feel free to raise your hand or type them in the question box, and we will cover them accordingly. There's no updates to cover this week. There is a pending release to ReportControl, which didn't make it last week. It's going well. I would just want one other particular item to look at regarding the inline filters and the inline search, and then it will be good to go. So we can expect a release to the ReportControl imminently. Okay. Hopefully we try and keep it short today because I'm sure you all know. Saturday we're with CIDC 2020 South Africa. There are the monthly webinars on the Saturday, and it's my turn this Saturday, and I am busy working on the content for it. So yes, that's where we're up to. Okay, any questions? Not seen any questions so far. I know Mark's here. I'm going to put Mark on the spot regarding, I'm sure he said a question in regarding manifests. So, Mark, yeah, you've got your microphone open.
Hey. Can you hear me?
I can. You're a bit garbled and muffled.
Oh, okay. I can put can you hear me clearly now? Or?
No better, really, to be fair.
Let me put my headphones off.
I'll quickly find the email. I know you sent an email over the weekend. Code 19.3 installed, and the OCX and the license files. Where do I find the manifest files? I don't remember. Okay, that's no problem. So I'll leave the microphone open and so on. So basically, the manifest files are automatically generated when you compile. So, and this is for the manifest files for reg-free.com. So as always, you would go to, for distribution in your application, and this is ReportControl going to do it, but you would do it for all of our OCX wrappers. So including all the CodeShock suite, Chilkat, so on and so forth. NBit.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, I can. Much better, Mark. Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I know. I want to let you know that I did figure out, based on what you were just going to begin to describe, it was all my fault, and I ended up emailing Kojak because I was kind of like frantic. I go like, what did I do? I can't, And yeah, I went and I didn't have the correct version numbers. And then I saw it did generate the manifests, and that kind of cleared me right up. Boy.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah,
yeah.
But yes, you would select, just for the purpose of the recording and knowledge for others. You would select the reg-free.com, which you've obviously just done. And you would compile in your CodeShock file, your CodeShock license file details. So you would do compile in and enter, and that is the third line. I think we actually say that, do we? Yeah, but well, you should be able to see it. But in your CodeShock license file, it will look something like that with a series of characters. You'd copy that in its entirety. You do have to ensure that you are using a predefined version rather than the specify option. And that's just so the template can calculate what content is needed. And then last but not least, before you hit the compile, you would go to, oh, sorry, just 1 second. Sorry about that, someone's trying to get my attention. Last but not least, before you hit the compile, go to Global Properties, Actions, App Settings, Manifest, and you can link it in, but just so you can see them actually generate and so on, I think it's always prudent to untick that, hit the compile. That will generate your manifest files for the CodeJoc, but it will also regenerate the one for the actual application. And then you should be good to go. You will distribute your application, so it's your exe and any supporting DLLs. It is a multi-DLL. The OCX files, the manifest files for the OCX, so they would be like extreme calendar or extreme command bars dot manifest, and then the applications manifest, which would include extra lines in there to point to the CodeJoc license CodeJoc manifest files, and that's it. So it sounds a lot. We are going to do a how-to video and put it on the website because it is catches everybody out, to be fair. So we're just desperately trying to find time to actually put to getting the website revamped. But yes, that's what you would need to do.
Yeah. Thanks for going over that again. And yeah, it was crazy because last week at the same time I had to get new code certificates, and I was working through all that, and then this didn't work, and I'm going like, oh my gosh, why am I? Maybe I just need to set it aside. So I walked away from it, and then came back the next day and kind of thought it all out in emails, and so yeah, thanks.
No problem.
Yeah, I do have another question. I know that you've spoken about this in your previous webinars, and in particular, we could just referencing your Twilio SMS, which I do use, and actually all of your Chilkats are pretty kind of in this little question I have.
Okay.
And the question is that, well, first I'm going to state that I know that I see in my use of the SMS, it goes to an INI file to pull in, I guess there's an app code and then there's some other security code. And each of these vendors, I need to go and get this code.
I wouldn't suggest you use an INI file. There are much more better and stricter ways, if you will. For instance, in a second, if it'll help. But yes, so if I were I can continue.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that question is because I have so many, because I use maps from Chilkat. I use all your controls, so they're all going to have a code. So I wanted to create a setup that would allow a user to go in and cut and paste or put their own codes, and they'd be encrypted, and then I could just use them as properties instead of the INIs. And I know that you said that was something Noyantis may look at some point, but putting them into a TPS file that was encrypted that writes a record and reads a record would even be of help to me, because then I can extend that record to add all these keys into, once my app loads the first time, it can go to that setup file, those codes and keys for all the different APIs that I use. And that's where might Noyantis, or what might you have now, that kind of thing, because that is key. It's not a pun it, but yeah, because I'm, the ones that I use, but when I pack product, I want them to codes in, and then just they get charged or whatever.
Let me
I'll let you
see. I've got a particular application, but it's not mine, so I'm just might just pause the display a second, just so I can open it. It won't be a second. I'll just pause the video, go into here.
I'll mute myself while you're talking too, so you don't get any background here.
Oh no, it's okay. You're absolutely fine. There's no background. Okay. Yeah, no, it's perfectly clear. Okay. Yep, all good. Okay, so
I do definitely have another question to ask you, but I'll do this.
Okay, so I'm desperately trying to hide something. Okay, so let me put this back on. Okay. So this particular application is a config application. I'm trying to basically hide a part of it for want of a better thing. So I'll put it across here, if you will. So, but basically, this is a config application for a system where the user can select they are synchronizing their data to an accounting system, and so you've got these API keys and so on, and you want to let the user they need the ability to be able to put this detail in, but by the same token you don't want any nosy bodies coming along and looking at those particular API keys. So on and so forth. So this saves its configuration. I have hidden part of it and so on, but it saves its configuration. So it's currently on 0. If I go to there, it would give us our client ID and secret and so on, where they can enter it. I'm making a very poor job of showing this because I'm having to hide part of the content. That's all. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So, but yes, basically you've got the options across the top, and then they select what it is. So we could go to Quickbooks, go to the login, and it will ask for different bits of information, and it'll be the same for your SMS. It's a point, and so on.
And the
these
maps.
details and the maps and all pieces of information. So now that.
I'll buy it. How much?
Well, what I'll
I'm
do,
ready.
I'll
get
do
my card out.
in the next release of the example, I'll knock together the approach. I'll add it to the example app, because I'll open this on another screen so I know that I don't divulge any information and so on. So it won't be 1 second. Let me jump back to this.
I want to let you know also that I did implement Sequence 7. So I do have all my files encrypted. I used my table.
I
so
see
all of that is.
You're in good. Yeah, you're in good setup there. I also use Sequence 7 as well. This
it's awesome.
stores the information because this is we have to find a happy medium. Their support guys, it's a large organization, their support guys need to be able to quickly dive in and do tweaks and so on and so forth. They don't necessarily want to have to go into this setup and thing all the time. And there's some things which are stored with this, but stored in the background, so the user from a UI point of view doesn't get to see it, but the support department do need to see it. So we store it in a JSON file, okay, which is plain, so we can see, okay, which ones are turned on. So we can see I've not saved it, but when I went in here, 0 was the one that was turned on, and Sage wasn't, and Quickbooks wasn't, and MYOB wasn't, that kind of thing. Just standard JSON data. You don't need to encrypt that. That's just pretty easy. Now, what we can do is go down to 0, and we go, consumer key, consumer secret. Brilliant. I've got the key and secret, and I can go on my merry way, and I've got someone's details, except you haven't. I know, I'll just go back to 0, that login, that value there, which happens to be, hidden off and so on, is not that value there, because that is encrypted. So basically, instead of, I know the Chilkat example uses an INI file to save and restore, and that's purely from nothing more than an example point of view. What it would be much better doing is storing them in a JSON file. And I never try to cross-contaminate any of our examples. So if you get the ReportControl product, it does plug into others like the Chart Pro, but the core example only requires ReportControl, and the calendar only requires a calendar, and so on and so forth. So you can open it, you install the template, you can open the example app, and you're not going to get messages saying you need this and you need that and so on. So they are self-contained. That's not to say we don't do others where they do support other products, but the core example. And the point I was going to say there is, for the Chilkat, all the encrypting and the writing to the file and so on and so forth is all done with the Chilkat products anyway. So I can add this approach which I've done here to the example app really easy. But you'd be surprised. This is really simple. You know, that I think it's using AES 256 encryption. And it's just using the JSON object class, it might just be the JSON object class and the Crypt2 class. It might be using this string builder class. I can't remember, to be honest. But if it is, it'll be for next to nothing, because it's really just the crypt to do this. And to encrypt and decrypt these, you set some initialization values. So it's just a few properties. I think off the top of my head, I think it's just 1 or 2, something like that. And then you just call the encrypt and the decrypt. The encrypt, you pass it that value, and it gives you that back. And I just put it into a JSON, into part of the JSON structure, and the decrypt, I just reverse it. So it's extremely.
So it's not in a TPS file or anything. It's just sitting
this
there?
is just. I mean, I'm using a JSON viewer there, but if I was to open that in TextPad, there it is in TextPad. It's nothing more than a JSON.
Okay.
So it's nice and easy for the support guys to quickly dip in should they need to go and check something. There's a few other things in here which, from the setup point of view, from the UI, the user doesn't get to see. So they will just do it. They wouldn't use TextPad. They'd use a JSON editor and so on. So like I'm just showing you in here, I've just got a free download, which I really do like, actually. It's that, if anyone's interested. It's quite old, but I use it all the time for JSON. But yes, basically, it's just a JSON viewer. And it just helps their support guys quickly go in and tweak things should they need to. And of course, the support guys know what they're doing. But should anybody else just stumble across, then this is going to mean this is worthless to them. They might think they've got the key and the secret, but they haven't. They've got no chance of decoding it, not without basically predefined values and so on and so forth. Right. Well, I say no chance. AES 256 is pretty secure. I'm pretty sure. And if they've got they do crack it, then hell, send the CV to me and I'll give them a job.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I'm looking at, because I'm going to have healthcare individuals that are probably they're not going to be tech savvy. They're just going to know, how to use the application. I'm trying to make it easy, where it could be, I could write the instructions for them to go to, Quickbooks and get their key, and then show them how to put it in where. But the JSON stuff.
Well, you don't have to store it in JSON if you want to. I mean, you've just said you've got your my table and so on. So that's a really good vehicle for storing things in as well. So any of the things here, I'm more up to speed on my stuff than I am the others, so I'm naturally going to use my stuff. But you've got my table there, and Sequin does allow you, although you wouldn't need Sequin for the my table encryption, so you could do that, but you could store them in TPS. Just store them in TPS and just call Encrypt and Decrypt.
Yeah, is there a way you might be able to include something like that in a sample app? When I know that you're very busy with many things. So.
You've got it. Let me show you. You've got the Chilkat wrapper. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Because Twilio. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, in the example, let's just go to Crypt2. Thank you very much. Go to Crypt2. Set up some information. So you got AES, and I'm just going to type in CIDC. There's our key. Actually, yeah, I'll do CIDC. Yeah, we'll set that. So that's just setting up some properties. But yeah, you could have a key. Let's just say you get what's the key? Well, it could be a phrase. It could be any data you like. So this is a test for Noyantis Usergroup. meeting kind of thing. So I can just, you've got a method called encrypt with, you've already set these properties, AES 256, so on. There we go. It will just give you a string back saying, and that's the encryption. So what I will do is I'll come out of that. I will paste that back over there, decrypt, and it's definitely going to fail, as I would hope it would do. I set the password for that data, and I ask it again, and there's your decrypted. So it's really, really, people think the encryption and decryption and it's a scary subject and so on to do that, and it's not. It's literally like calling the clip command. It's as simple as that. You set some properties, and the examples are here. So I will pinch that, save me retyping it. But you set some default values, call that, and just basically it will return you that string, which is all it's done there. So you could just save that in one of your TPS fields.
Right.
So
yeah,
I
guess
have
it's
something like a password field with a paste button, like I have in that config screen. I'd have a password field with a paste button, and then that's where they would put their consumer key and consumer secret from Twilio, and or any other, your maps, all your that kind of information. Make it really nice and simple for them. Don't bombard them with all the techie stuff. That's our jobs. And then you basically call the encrypt, and yeah, I'll show you that code. So you would go to your particular window where it's being used. Obviously, you'd have the global extension added by now. But go to here. Just waiting for Clarion. Won't be a sec. Yep, go to here. I'm using the binary data on here because you don't need to. For your example, you probably wouldn't need to. I'm having it so I can do other things. But you go to Crypt2, tick that, and then basically, let's just show you that button. You have some kind of string where they're entering their client secret, if you will, and that is literally, that's just a check. It's crypt2.encrypt string encoded, and pass it what you need to do. I can't believe it. My headphones are battery is low. Typical. Won't be a second. So you call the encrypt. That returns you the encrypted version of it, and likewise from our screen, when you're going to use it in your Twilio calls, the flip of it is you call the decrypt.
Right.
And you use, obviously, the decrypted version, if you will.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm a little ways, I have the thoughts of a setup function in my mind that I'm going to definitely need. So when I come around to that again, but it's just something that's starting to get in my mind about, well, how the customer is going to keep track of all these, API codes and keys and make it simple for them. Yeah,
I think we'll keep going back to schedule it out. I schedule the database not online.
Yeah, because I'm using OAuth for specific logons to Facebook, Flickr, Google, Instagram, and each one of those is going to have an API.
Yes.
And some of them, the customer may not have to buy or do something on their own, but maps and things like that are transaction based could start costing money. So
you do. You do want them to be, but well, any kind of information like that, sensitive information, should really be stored, securely. So you've got a few options to you. You could go down the TPS route. You could do the My Table, and that's got, I think it's got encryption in it. I think so. You could do that. But if you've already got your own setup type TPS or SQL or whatever, but a table, then you'll just encrypt the data and just store the encrypted version. That kind of thing. So you've got a really, it's going to come down more to the the UI, but I think you'd be fine. I'm just going to see why that thing didn't open there actually. Just going to show what we did in. You schedule it. 1 second. We did change our server the other day. I think it's typical. I think it's on that. Yes. So I think in here, again, you don't divulge anything to the end customer. Did I do the preferences? No, I'm just this you'll see is different from last time. I've just revamped the config center to use the docking panes as that kind of approach, and I haven't done the preferences one. Sorry about that. But basically, it's a bit like that setup one you saw before, presented, and you just try and make it nice and easy for them. So just a nice entry, because it's things like that can scare a lot of people. So you just have a couple of entries and a nice easy button, because you wouldn't be expecting them to type in a client secret key. 9 times out of 10, the websites what generate these all have a copy to clipboard button. And then you just add a paste button in our applications, and have it just paste into the actual field.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that gives me a bunch of ideas that I can pursue. But again, I'm not there yet that I've thought it out and organized all these keys that I'm going to need to have in one place and make it simple. So so thank you for those ideas. I have another. I have the QuickBooks online interface that I haven't really worked with yet, but I can see that. I'm looking at it right now where you have the client ID and the client secret. Now, all that data, what I need is the data. I'm looking for like the data dictionary for all this data that's accounts and bills and customers, so that I can, I think in the one webinar you just discussed that, this is just a queue, and then we as the developers need to go get that stuff ourselves and put it into a file. I'm looking for the lazy to kind of make a shortcut and say, gosh, if you're able to get this stuff down, where is the data dictionary of this data? Because right now I just have I have a healthcare version of my app, but I'm going to have Edition, I'll call it, which does medical claims and there's patients, but I want to have just a like a financial version of it, which is based on, let's say I started with QuickBooks, but I do want to have a Salesforce interface ultimately, which would bring up and down Salesforce information. But the QuickBooks would be a great place to start, where there's customers. Well, they come down, like it store them or update something locally, or if it changes and push it back up.
You probably want this. We've got CHM, we've got PDF. I'll open PDF because it's probably more easier for this webinar. But in here, you have got type definitions.
Okay.
And in the type definitions, we do have, basically, there's the account group. Now, all these, the naming convention, all the things like that, they all belong. You can see the parent belongs to the account group, which is what it's in, and so on, and its type. Now, these naming-wise match QuickBooks definitions. Word for word. Well, not quite word for word, because they will have that as customer currency ref, and then they will have that'll be a path in the JSON, and then it will have a child item or value, and there'll be currency ref dot name. Well, we can't have a dot in our variables, So I've just done it as an underscore to make it easy. So you can see the path. You can see it's metadata underscore create time and metadata underscore last update time, that kind of thing. So that's the convention we've gone. But it's this document which should have been installed with your last Chilkat update. If it's not, I can send it to you.
Yeah, maybe you could shoot that over to
fire
me.
it across. Because this is the this is what you'll need. The PDF actually has a page broke, very good here. So the overall would have been better. But there's PDF, the CHM, and there's HTML. So when we do this revamp of the website, these will be on the website anyway. So and the content is it's physically cut. It's there.
Okay.
So so there's our type definitions and so on. So as we can see, and hopefully that's better and easier to read. I should have gone into this first. But they are the equivalent of the data dictionary.
Okay.
And that, so in your local entity, like so for here, we'll go to our QuickBooks. By all means, I mean, I don't know, are you on the Saturday webinar for the APIs?
No.
No?
Yeah, I'm not on.
Okay, well, no problem. I was going to say, because we're covering APIs this Saturday, which would be especially given the subjects you're talking about and some of the names you've mentioned, it might have actually been a good idea and so on. But watch this space for the Chilkat wrapper as well. That's all we can really say on that. But let's go to our QuickBooks here so we can see we have got a queue of bills. So it's based upon the structure here. So I should be able to go to our help document, go to our bills. No, I'm on their bill. I happen to be on bills, pure by chance. There's our bill group, and that is the definition of a bill. And it also has lines, and they are the bill lines. So this document goes hand in hand with the class. So this is what you would use, that kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
Sounds like you will need this. So I'll zip up because there is for the Chilkat. There's lots. There's one for each of the task classes, so you should have the SMS as well.
Okay. Search and see if I could on my PC.
You can be wondering whether they are in the Twilio. Are they in the installer? I thought they were. If they're not, they need to go out because these are done. Ready to go.
Because I've never seen these. I've never saw those go in there or.
Right, you got me paranoid now. I will check. Even if it's just a case of rebuilding the installer, because there's a lot of work gone into these, as you would imagine, and they are the task classes, and then of course you've got where's the base classes? Would they come under here? No, that's just that. It should be the base classes as well. I have to ask Ben where he's put them, because there's 90 odd base classes all there as well. In fact, I'm worried. Where are the base classes? Anyway, that's my problem to panic about. Okay.
Thanks for saying my first and going over that again, and then answer my question. Security.
When you come to do that, the screen.
Yeah.
Let's have it as one of the topics for the Monday webinar. Just say, okay, these are the type of information, and we can bounce some ideas around. I mean, this, where is it? Just let me bring that screen back up again.
Yeah, I could like a little proto app that could be just here's security or something would have it for each of the APIs. And then it's a matter of that the user could go through multiple update those, cut and paste those, and save it out to the data. And then when my app opens, read that one record and establish all those codes one time.
Yeah, Yeah, that's exactly what you want, and that's what this does. It reads this. I put a little class together for this, and so on. But basically, this goes through and it reads lots of settings. I store it in a JSON structure, because I can bring it straight into some structures within the class, and it's nice and simple. And then they're all there, just waiting to go. The other thing I was going to mention is the likes of. I quite like this type of interface where I can quickly switch between what I need to, that kind of thing. And ultimately, they are like tabs, if you will, but it works like more like a web interface. And I'm going to be switching some of, let's say, going to one of the products, and say for the license. So I'm thinking for your UI, if you want to make it nice and simple for the user. But what I want to do is I'm going to get coming away from these tabs. But from a design point of view, from a Clarion design point of view, we'll still use tabs, but we'll just so we'll still dev it as we would normally dev it, but a little template will take all these and turn it into this automatically.
Oh, are you work on that now, or is it something new coming out?
Yeah, because I want it for these applications.
Yeah, because when I took Sec 7 and put it in my app, I looked at their sample app and I liked the way he did the tabs across the top. So I just redesigned my whole interface of my app to be based on one, let's say, ribbon across the top and all tabs to get to all the features and functions of my app. So that would really be an awesome
But what I'll tell you, what I'm going to ultimately for our applications, I'll go into the Quickbooks example application. So this is play data. So there's no one's data, thankfully. Yeah. Yeah, you go Sandbox Company 2. But and people might cringe and not like this at all, and so on. But I do kind of like. Let me go on to one of their customers. Obviously, it's a web interface. Or we could say they are tabs. They are the equivalent of tabs, and so on. But they look so much neater. And if we did edit a record, so we edit there, and so on. Now they have actually got tabs. I never realised. But I'm even going to. So basically, what it'll do is it'll spot the sheet and turn these into basically the equivalent of those shortcuts automatically. With the little bar highlight underneath, so you can actually see. I think on mine, I actually show you where you're going to go and what's currently selected and things like that. So I want to go down that avenue. I want the apps to look more, even though the desktop apps, I want them to look more web.
Yeah. Like I said, I just went through. I can even share my screen if you want. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
And show you what I did. Yeah, how do I? Yeah, I guess you're gonna have to walk me through how to do that.
Okay, well, you've got an invite just coming across to you, so you should be able to see share screen.
Share screen. And now which one?
I'm looking at a desktop with the recycle bin in the top left.
Okay, so we'll bring this. How do I? Oh, it's in my virtual machine. So how do I pick my virtual machine screen?
Oh, I'm not sure. Can you bring it into here or onto this desktop?
No, because it's on another window. Well, let me see if I have. I think I might have the sample in here. I can use. Yeah, this has it's a little bit a few days ago. But what I basically did was, and these buttons are gone. You can see now I've got security, so that we can go into the users and. But I've created these tabs across the top, so you can go into claims or it's got financial. So there's all your financial interfaces for Chilkat.
Got you.
My web, my OAuth, all my OAuth things. The customer can go in there. I've got the dashboard from. I've got my drives, so you can see all my net talk. Everything is built in now. To that, again, I'll call this a ribbon. It's not really, it's the original menu bar, and I've taken things off this. So now the one that I have that I've been working on this morning will only have log in, log off here. So based on that, it'll allow whoever to get into where. But it's a huge improvement because, you know, you could see from having the menu. It was just, I didn't realize it until I saw that sample app that I didn't have an intuitive interface that I thought I did. And this really made it simple. So yeah, so these being dressed up, I put icons in these now, but all of a sudden it ends up over here, you know, it stretches it out. So yeah, what you described sounds really cool.
That you are right, because obviously you have a lot of tabs and they've got to be, you've only got a resizable window and so on, so it's got to allow for that. So
yeah,
and that was, when I was lying in bed and I couldn't sleep early hours of this morning, it was a code for that was going through my head on what do we do when there's, because obviously a sheet can't scroll left and right,
right.
Whereas of course if we're painting those, so I'm toying with what to do there. Watch this space, because I'm not quite sure myself yet.
Yeah,
but
it
it is a
sounds great.
scenario we've got to handle.
Yeah, so I mean, I have a lot of tabs here. I may end up reducing this, you know, putting, you know, more icons and things to allow the user to get to where they need to. But yeah, thank you. I'm glad we discussed that and brought that up, and you showed me that, because that'll be a nice enhancement. So
yeah,
great.
yeah, it's something we're actually actively doing, because I want I'll just come back to mine, but
yeah, how do I get off of my screen? Oh, you got it back. Okay.
Yeah, it's come back. So basically, yeah. So this, which it looks quite presentable. I need to choose a different color theme for the command bar, but putting that aside, it looks quite presentable. But I still can see the tabs there, and I don't want them to be. I want them to be, basically, I want those to be this.
Yeah, and my product is coming out version 1.0, and I purchased all your other tools, your report, right, and the tabs and all these features and things, that templates that I bought. I want to add those because I see the webinars that you're showing and other people are using DocuPane, and all those things would just significantly enhance, you know, my application. So, but I got the base one is coming out pretty much clearing out of the box with a lot of templates, but pretty standard looking, not as whizzy and pretty.
First and foremost, it's got to be functional. So, and then you can look at it's not just. I always have this argument that it's not just, for want of a better term, prettifying a product. There is usability in the UI. That bar down there's a usability. We haven't got much data there, but basically being able to quickly jump to certain, that is nice and easy. That kind of thing. Being able to say, okay, I do need their work number, and I need it there. That's important to me.
I'm looking forward to putting that in. Those types of, exactly what you described would be a huge.
From a UI point of view, they look great for the end user, but in reality, it saves and restores that layout. So from a end user's point of view, they're designing the layout of their own screens and going, I can get straight to my number there. I can get straight to this. They can get to whatever they need to. They can on Skype, so I need the Skype.
Awesome. Yep. I mean, I'm just I'm kind of being patient, but getting it to function and do what it's supposed to do first.
Exactly.
Then making the usability, improving on that. Yeah. So good. Thank you so much. Awesome.
No problem. Okie dokie. Now we've got Alex got a question not related to any stuff we've dealt with. I think it's more simple. Okay, Alex, got me intrigued.
Hi there, Andy.
Hi.
Do you mind if I share my screen real quick? It'll be the simplest and easiest way to show what my question is.
Yep. Yeah, just 1 second. Okay. Getting an echo back, actually. I can hear myself.
Okay.
Looking at you've got it.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Here's the app.
Okay.
Here's my question. So this is a table called groups, and the main unique key is the group code, and it's a string. So if I add a group code with a 0 in front, okay, like this, for instance, okay,
Okay.
it's just a string. It saves it fine. And as you can see here, we have just added it right here. Do you see that? So it comes up with a 0.
Got you.
However, in the Noyantis browse, it interestingly, that works fine. You see how like I can open it and it shows fine. However, if I were to create a group that is 0 and some numbers, okay, again, it'll save fine in the database. You see that? The group code has the 0 in front of the 455. It's just a string. However, here, it appears without the 0, and then if I click on it, I can't open the record, which I get it because it doesn't really recognize it from the unique ID. So I figured you know this, that this is like an easy one for you. Like, what can I do to get the 0 to display and this to work correctly in that sense?
Leading 0, we've had this. Oh, crikey.
And let me, real quick, since we're there, this is, I'll take you right here. This is it. And okay, just to show you again, the group code is a string. You see that right here?
Yep.
On the left. Yep. And I'll go here, columns, and here it is. I've tried to like make it alphanumeric, but that didn't really make a difference. So, am I missing something? There's some.
Can you just cancel that for me? Just want to know how the data's going in there. So data source, if you can. Oh no, not that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay,
Yeah,
got
you. That, go... And then data source. Okay. So it's a view file, right? That's no problem. In the dictionary, how is that defined in the dictionary? Can you just show it me again, please? I think you said it was a string, actually.
So here it's the group code, which is a primary, unique, and it's just a string here.
What picture is it though? It's taken as a picture. It's taking the picture, so it's taking it as a data type of numeric because the picture is saying it's numeric.
I mean, in the dictionary, I guess it shows it as an S6, is the way it's defined.
Oh, is that S? Sorry, 1 second.
See that?
Take it back. Sorry. I'm having to. This is ridiculous. My headset's battery's low, so I've got my neck cooked at one side, and it's over on the other screen. Yeah, so that's
just to be sure. Let me see here. Group code.
Yeah, no, you are correct. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. One would have expected that should basically. It's just a series of characters. So 0, 4, 5, 6 should be the same as we have covered this in the past, and I forget what the answer was.
I didn't find any place where I can like specify a custom picture or anything like that. That's why, and just for you to see, I'm not doing anything like in the set grow data content. I'm not like doing anything weird for them. I'm letting the template take in that field. You see that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm not like otherwise manipulating it over here or anything like that.
Let me look at that here. There is a workaround, but it should detect that automatically. I'm wondering whether I don't know. But basically, what the trick is, what the template does, and this is from memory. I'd have to check, but I think what the thing does is it takes your content as you've got now, and it adds a null character to the end, basically forcing it to be a string from memory. Just out of interest in yours, Can you just go
Click
to
here,
an embed point called set queue content?
Set view content.
If you just go into source view and just go to set. Oh, okay, yeah, well, go to that.
Set row content, that one?
Yeah, okay. Just do me a favor. Copy you see at the start of the generated code, that GRP, yeah, the group down there, that first one. Grab that, and yeah, there. Just put it to that ampersand character 0 on the end.
Okay.
So go to the end.
To the very end.
Yep. Is that
Okay.
well? You maybe sorry. Clip that as well. Actually, thinking about it.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm missing. What do you want me to do to this thing?
Yeah, just clip that.
Oh, clip that.
Yep, and then put a ampersand CHR 0 in parentheses.
Like this?
Yeah, is that 0 on there? Yep. Okay. Just try that for me, please.
Okay.
I genuinely can't remember. We've covered it a long time ago. I just can't remember what the actual answer was.
All right. Let me give it 1 second. You know how it's to like load up to the server.
Yeah, copies over to you.
Give it just 1 second. It'll come right up.
Yeah, no problem.
There it is. It's coming. All right, I'm about to run it again. Okay, there we go. I don't even see it at all. I guess let me try the new one. So 0777.
Oh, I don't like. No, is it else?
What happened? Like, where's what's happening?
Go.
Something
No,
got added.
no. Take that code back out. Let me check on my side. Yeah, let me check on my side on that.
Okay, you want me to unshare?
I'll take back here, but it's something I'll have to have a look at. Yeah, it's something I'll have to look at here. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but I'm on the report control as we literally, as we. Oh no, I've just opened the Chilkat. But yeah, I'm on the report control, getting this next build out. So I'll look at it with that and see what it is.
Okay.
That will have. Let me just try it on here. Something. Oh, wrong example. That's as easy as any. Oh, bad example because this doesn't use that code. These use an identity field, so that's probably not going to help us. To be fair, yeah, that's not going to help us. But still, let me.
You mean they're not using a unique row ID? You meant?
Oh, yeah, they are. It's just you don't get to see it. It's hidden.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a hidden one. So basically, it's something. It's going to be. We go to there. It's got a code. We just don't show that to the user. That kind of thing. Ah, I wonder if I could try it in here. Try one of my applications. Categories. Second, I just opened that twice. Yes, I did. So A001, A002, 077. It has trimmed the 0 off and it shouldn't have done. So, right, yep, that's no problem. Let me check. Yep, let me check what that is. Because you're using the correct way of doing stuff. It's what we use as well, data load, and so on. Yeah, let me check and
Yeah, and if there's at least some kind of workaround, that would be great.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I'm working on, as I say, working on the actual thing, so I'll be back on that tomorrow because I want to get it released, to be honest. And there's only one particular thing holding me up, and it's just a quick fix to the inline filters. So basically, this functionality and so on. Yeah, I've got the colours set up in this system, so this hasn't gone out the door yet. Yeah. Okay. Let me. That'll be sorted in the next build. But yeah, by all means, feel free to drop me an email tomorrow just to see where we're up to on it.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, one more thing. Do you have any other info on that little apostrophe character thing?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I to be honest, I haven't. I started obviously after that webinar I did. That was not. Was it last week? So yeah, it was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I took a look around and so on and so forth because I know John raised his concerns of keeping his data, and it was it does require a bit more thinking. It's not quite as easy as we thought to fit everybody, if you will, that kind of thing. I know your scenario fixes you, but if I was to implement that, it breaks John, and who knows what else. So I don't want to introduce issues. So now I need to come up with something that works for all. I'm just not sure what that is yet.
Okay, I guess for the meanwhile, until you come out with some, at our company we'll try the thing that I did. As far as I know, it shouldn't break anything. Would you agree with that? That at least
it's the likes of John keeping the GUIDs in there, which happen to start with that character, which is really unlucky because I can't imagine anyone's normal data, someone's name starting with that character. But as you said, you've got it, and so on. So putting a space in it seems a workable option.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be put a space in it, and then when we return the value to, we L trim it, which or justify to the left, and so on, that kind of thing. So there's ways and means of doing it. So I just need to give it some thought and make sure it fits for everybody. That's all. So I'll send a couple of betas out on that first.
All right, thank you, Andy.
No problem. Okay, well, we're out of questions. We're on the hour, so cool. I think we'll wrap it up. Don't see any other questions. I think we're all good. So yeah, we'll wrap it up. So thank you, everybody. Until next week, I'll see you then. Oh, and if you attending the Saturday webinar via CIDC 2020, I shall see you there instead. Okay. Thank you.